Yeah, just there. Thank you, Dave.
Oh, cheers, Dave.
That's great.
Dave.
Oh, Dave, you're a star.
Oh, what a guy.
Dave there, giving us our podcast beverages.
See you later, Dave.
At
Bye, Dave.
Bye, Dave.
Bye.
Oh, he's shy. He's not saying anything.
Oh, Dave.
Bye at Dave on Twitter. There he goes. There goes our hero. Watch him as he goes.
Watch him as he goes.
He's a good boy, that
who
Dave,
is that?
isn't he?
Who does that song?
Foo Fighters.
Is it Foo Fighters? Okay.
Nickelback.
Sum 41. Green Day. The Beatles.
The Sopranos.
I saw Foo Fighters live at Leeds Festival, and I was not fussed about it. Everyone hails them as like, this is the best live band you'll ever see, and I was thoroughly like, okay,
the best
live band.
I like the Foo Fighters.
Do you?
I used to love them, like the Monkey Wrench era.
I was disappointed at about age 9 when I discovered they weren't called the Food Fighters.
Yeah, that was a difficult blow to deal with, wasn't it? They're a bit dad rock.
Yeah,
but
nothing wrong with dad rock.
I like the dad rock. It's easy to listen to. It's nothing too provocative. They're all just singing about
provocative.
Profiteroles.
Yeah.
They're just singing about profiteroles and choux pastry based desserts. Nothing too frightening out there.
They should be called the Food Fighters, really.
They should. I think
talking about custard pies all the time.
if you want to rebrand and be relevant,
Yeah.
David Grohl, let us know. David Grohl.
Growl.
Nice.
Growl.
David.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Podiots.
Wow.
It's the official podcast of the Vidiots YouTube.
That music's
Two episodes. Who thought we'd make it this far? What an achievement.
Yeah.
Wowee.
Unbelievable.
I was like at the beginning of every podcast, like, wow, we've done 15 episodes, guys. This is amazing.
It's incredible. It's immediately feeling very warm in here.
Yeah, it is very
Are
toasty.
we able to control any of the air conditioning? Because usually in these rooms it's really cold.
Could get Dave to do it, maybe.
Dave's gone now. We only get one. He's like a genie. We get one wish a day.
And then that's it. We got our drinks, so that's enough.
It's nothing like a genie. I'm the
exactly
genie of the
like a
lamp.
genie.
You get one wish a day.
Well, you clearly have never met a salaried genie.
No, I've not.
Who's on retainer. But you only get one a day.
A privatised genie.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Bupa genies. No, I'm always on the national genies, NGS.
Private health genies.
Yeah.
Delicious. Before we go any further, guys, just need to let everyone know that we're wearing our very comfortable and delightful Turtle Beach headsets.
They're good.
So comfortable, I could almost fall asleep.
Mikey.
Well, there we
Mikey.
go. I don't know if that's a... Do we...
I just got woken up by just how comfortable these headphones are.
The snoring is not indicative of the boredom that Turtle Beach
Oh no, there's never
incites as a brand.
never
Hey,
a
in
frown
all
with
seriousness,
Turtle Beach.
they have like special padding for if you wear glasses and stuff. Like we sound a bit insincere. They're good headsets.
They're wonderful headsets. You can actually have a look at their entire range of headsets by going to bit.ly/Vidiots.
Vidiots Beach, yes.
Vidiots
We'll
Beach.
get there
That's the one.
eventually.
They actually sponsor this podcast.
Hey, thanks, guys.
They don't, but
No.
we've sort of decided that they have.
sponsor Vidiots
They
in general.
sponsor us, and we just want to shout about it. So make sure you go and just go to that link, really.
Yeah.
Just do everything you can.
Thanks.
Also, very quick thank you to our incredible Patreons. We don't talk about Patreon much because it's
We don't wanna-
we're modest boys.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, as we've said before, it acts as a tip jar. So if you like what we're doing, you can throw a couple of dollary dues in there, and that's absolutely fine. It just helps us
buy us.
buy
To buy us.
stupid things every now and then.
Yeah.
But that's up to like $200 now. It's crazy.
Yeah, people are very generous. You're all wonderful.
Stop. I mean, don't stop, but stop.
You're going to get billed soon.
Yeah.
And then we'll see who the real
Yeah,
fans are.
after month one. That's the thing with Patreon, isn't it? People put like $5 on month one,
A
and
couple
then
of
they
people
just...
have done 10 as well.
Jesus.
God.
That's fine if you want to do a once-off
yeah, of
donation.
course.
That's like 10 times the amount of those fucking cheapskates.
Yeah, don't
doing
look a gift horse in the mouth. Are you aware of the origin of that phrase?
A gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
Was it sort of a colleague of Dave's, sort of a genie magic horse that provided delicious gifts?
No, the gift horse. No.
Yeah, the gift horse.
No, it's the idea that if someone gives you a free horse i.e. if someone goes on your Patreon and just gives you money for free.
I wish people could give us horses instead of money.
Oh, man, imagine that.
Ride a
What?
stallion into work would be great.
Well, what would you do once it'd be like post some tat all over again. Once you get
One horse.
like six boxes in a day, you start to think, okay,
I shouldn't have asked for horses.
this might be a bit
Start
unsustainable.
racing them. I'd have like an army of horses. It'd be great.
Oh my God, sorry, Pete.
Please,
That's okay.
send us horses.
Your gift horse.
Yeah, so the phrase obviously means don't start picking apart something that was given to you for free, right?
Yeah,
Don't complain. Well, if someone gave you a horse in the olden days, that period sort of between 1200 and 1800.
Yeah.
Right.
If you looked it in the mouth, that was something that you do when you're like giving a horse a health check on whether you want to buy this horse or not. So if someone gave it to you for free and you're like, well, let me have a look at its teeth first before I take this.
You don't want to be given an ill horse.
Yeah.
An ill horse is a big burden. I think it's only responsible to inspect the health of the horse.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous saying.
You would have
What a
disrespected
ridiculous
so
thing.
many people in that large timescale Peter listed there.
We all know that MJ would not fit in well in any kind of
What do
pre-Victorian
you mean?
era.
What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, the
You
town
would be,
crier.
Michael, you've seen the list of reasons people were locked up in mental institutions.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for being like
Excitability.
pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a bit too enthusiastic today. Let's lock him up.
She reads books. Put her away.
Michael's pulling that face again. A lot of people have been asking, gentlemen, where's Podiots episode 2? What's going on? I feel like we did say that it is a fortnightly podcast, but for those of you still listening that don't know, it's once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a fortnightly
That's why.
podcast.
It's been 2 weeks since the last one, and the next one will be 2 weeks from today.
Whoa.
So sorry to get
That's
you
amazing.
all excited.
Wowee.
Also, we are trying to get on Spotify. I'm just getting all this boring admin stuff out of the way
Yeah.
first because I just made a note and I want people to pay attention for fuck's sake.
Some premium content coming up, believe us.
Actual premium content that we paid money for and everything. Spotify is a possibility for the podcast, but we can only get on there after 5 episodes. This is technically the 3rd episode because we have that other file, the sort of test file on there. So very soon we'll be submitting to Spotify, but we are available now on iTunes and Podbean if you want to do that.
Nice.
Also, should we have a quick chat about Post Some Tat and the sort of unsustainable, ridiculous
It's not unsustainable.
format
Keep
that-
sending. You know what? Double the rate at which you're sending things.
Well,
I love it.
presumably we should address that in Post Some Tat, right?
think?
Or maybe in addition. We can say it
But
now.
we can do like a we're dive here, whereas in video
Yeah.
form
Spend
has
the
to be
entire
properly
hour talking about
exactly
the sheer
just
amount
complaining.
of tat.
It's not complaining.
No.
We're very fortunate, and we knew what we were doing, and we love you so much for sending us so much wonderful stuff. But it is arriving very fast. We had to shoot 2 episodes almost back to back.
We've got 100 games now, right?
We do.
Yeah, we're over
yeah.
100 games.
Jesus.
It's mental.
And it just keeps going more insane. So if there's some kind of format change soon where we aren't able to open everybody's stuff guaranteed every episode, don't be too surprised.
I feel like we probably still hopefully open everything, but we might have to sort of skim over some of the letters or very like not- just sort of go, oh look, it's some sweets, thank you, and like that's
We'll
it.
have to
And-
condense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise these videos are going to be 45 minutes long. And
It's going to be like every couple of days at this rate. It's insane.
nobody... I think
Because
the rest
at the
of
other day,
office is getting annoyed.
we recorded a Post Some Tat, and when we came out the room, we went back to our desk, and there was already a pile of new posts waiting for us. It was mental.
So we're no less grateful, but we might just have to change the format slightly.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Thank you.
very much for listening to this PSA. It's public service?
Podiots service announcement.
There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. There we go. Let's start with a question.
Oh,
Shall we?
yeah.
Spice things up.
This is from at Mr. Nathan Mister.
From-
His username
Oh.
is
Oh.
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 Oh, it's Mr. Nathan Mister.
Says, one recipe/food item you have seen that is so ridiculous, large, fatty, whatever, that it wouldn't be a good idea to eat it, but in the back of your mind, you want to try it one day regardless. Your screw it meal. So sort of like your
That's not a
your
question.
death row meal. Well, okay. What would it be?
Yeah, thank you. Thank
You
you.
dick.
I had French toast at the weekend, and that was quite a ridiculous amount of toast.
When you say French toast, do you mean fried bread, or is it different?
Like egg, milk, cinnamon, dip the bread in it, fry it. It's nice. But I went out and I bought like a nice farmhouse loaf so I could cut it nice and thick. So I made like the slices about an inch thick, maybe. I don't know. Is that about an inch I'm holding up right
That's
now?
like a 3/4 inch.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
say an inch. For simplicity's sake.
Yeah, well, you always do that. You always overblow your
Oh,
measurements.
Peter.
MJ.
It's bigger than average, all right? So I made huge bits of French toast.
Yeah.
I made 2 of them, and then I put loads of syrup on. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And about halfway into the first slice, I was like, oh, this is a lot of
That's
food.
too much.
Been
This is-
ambitious.
this
What
is-
have I
yeah.
done?
I ate it all, and I felt
Of
very
course.
sick for the rest of the Sunday.
Do you have one, Ben?
Oh yeah, like no doubt.
What?
Like ridiculous. Like not talking. Well, speaking of Michael's thing,
Yeah.
I always thought the idea of fried bread was like such an incredible game-changing thing, and I'd never really had it before.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what I was doing, but I assumed, well, I've got oil and I've got bread,
Yeah.
so that's
Oh,
probably
no,
fine.
Ben.
So
Oh,
I
no.
put this was while I was at university. I put so much oil into this pan, and then I just cooked like 7 or 8 slices of bread in it.
What?
What? And
Was
I
it
took
soggy?
it out. No. It was
Oh,
like
you did it right.
it was crisped.
Oh, God.
And it was like drenched in oil. And so I
So
took them out.
the main flavour you're getting there is oil.
Oh yeah, just oil. It's just oil.
You
So
may
I
as well
took it
just dunk
upstairs.
the bread in the oil.
Yeah.
I agree, because that is the closest to. I should have thrown up.
Why did you
that's the
make
closest
8?
to
Like, why did you make 7, 8 slices?
just eyes bigger than your stomach, you know?
That's,
bet
I
you
mean,
felt-
there's a difference between being a bit hungry and making 7, 8 slices
was-
of oily toast.
It was gluttony. I took it upstairs and I was doing the thing where you're constantly swallowing.
Oh, yeah.
you're-
It's like a
you're
film
trying to-
in your mouth.
You're trying to stop, like keep the gag reflex at
Oh, I
bay.
feel a bit sick just even thinking
I
about
bet you
it.
were so clammy and like.
I felt really basically
that
I
like-
just drank. I'd consumed about maybe 200 or 300 milliliters of oil.
So you pushed yourself very close to a heart attack.
Do you think
that day.
all the water in your body sank to the bottom?
Maybe if I jumped around, there'd be little globules of oil going all over the place. It's possible, yeah, absolutely. But in terms of an actual meal, it's got to 100% be sort of my. I don't know if it'll ever happen, and given the price, probably not. But there's a place nearby
Oh, yeah.
called Snappy's Tomato
Oh,
Pizza.
Jesus.
They do square pizzas, which in and of itself is enough of a novelty for me to be a big fan.
You get more pizza.
Exactly. It
You do
fills
get
the
more
entire
pizza.
box. It's
Yeah,
magic.
Brought to my attention by Michael Johnson.
Yes, boys.
And they're great. This podcast isn't sponsored by them, but they're
Oh,
wonderful.
man, imagine if
and
it
I'm
was.
a big fan.
Yeah, Snappies, if you want to sponsor us, please do.
They have a meal deal that's £40, and you get something like I can't remember exactly what it is, but you get like a 25-inch square pizza.
Monster pizza.
Yeah, it's like called Monster Pizza.
Yeah.
It comes with like 7 garlic breads, several ice creams, and I would never be able to make a dent in that.
Yeah.
But just the idea of it is very sort of sexy to me.
That's not. I was going to say daunting, not sexy, but
No,
yeah.
that's a sexy
I mean, this
thing.
is Mr. Oily
This
Bread
is the
over
man
here.
who-
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I just do shots of olive oil.
That said, and I'm going to call it again, Michael Johnson ate silica gel once.
Michael did.
But just get over it, please. I
Well,
was a
we've never.
kid.
I don't think we've properly said it on a video yet.
No, but you mention
we
it
say
every
a lot in the
fucking day,
office.
don't
yeah,
you?
but I just want to. I want to get it out there on the channel.
It's-
and then
Yes, I
can
ate
leave
a
it.
little packet of silica gel when I was a kid.
I think it's just because it's Peakle Johnson, isn't it?
Yeah, peak.
I was
Johnson.
I was a little kid. I was excited. I just got some new DC shoes because
Right.
I was going skateboarding. So I went, took my shoe box outside, showed my friends like, "Oh, look at these nice new shoes."
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what's this? A little packet of silica gel.
Yeah,
Do
what
not
did
eat.
What did it say on the packet?
Do
Yeah.
not eat.
So what did you do?
I thought, oh, I'm going to eat it.
Gotta give that a try. That looks delicious.
And what did it do to you?
So I ripped it open. I put like maybe half the packet in my mouth, and kind of it slid down my throat, and then eventually just stopped sliding and got stuck to my throat. And surprisingly, it made my throat feel very dry.
Yeah, because that's what
Weird.
it's meant to do. It's like a dehumidifying
Yeah.
little packet of
Gets rid of it, doesn't
granules.
You know what I always say? YOLO. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
not
only
for
live
very
one-
long.
it? No. Yeah.
Eating silica
You only
gel.
live 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's a miracle that Michael didn't asphyxiate himself as a child.
Yeah.
And it's amazing I didn't have some kind of cardiac issue almost immediately in my late teens. What are you bringing to the table here, Peter?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really think of like anything that's so sort of horribly gluttonous in terms of like something that's kind of greasy and kind of gross. I used to have 9 a.m. lectures like 2 or 3 times a week at uni.
Yeah.
And after my lecture, I'd come back at like 10 or 11, and I'd go in the kitchen. I'd put some toast on. Mm-hmm. I'd then melt cheese onto the toast in the oven, and while that is melting, and I would do thick slices. It would be like almost as thick as the bread, like bread and then cheese.
So that bad pizza we made. I mean, the
Yeah, a
amazing
bit like-
pizza
No,
we
that was
made,
good
where it was
pizza.
just great big hunks of cheese on it
Yeah.
that don't melt properly. Right, so you wanted sweaty cheese.
It was almost sweaty cheese, but I did
Right.
leave it in long enough to melt, so it was properly melted.
Okay.
And while it's melting, I would grill some bacon. I would then put the bacon, again, greasy, oily, onto thick ass cheese, onto white bread, and I would eat it and I would enjoy it. And then one time while I was eating it, we actually had a cleaner for our kitchen for halls. I know
Was she the one who found you?
Yeah, well, she did. I was just sitting down eating this, and the cleaner came in, and she was a nice lady. She said hi, and she didn't address the fact that I was eating this thing. But at that point, I stopped.
Do you have so you knew what you were doing was wrong.
Oh yeah,
Do you have a name for it?
diabetes. I
Yeah.
think
Okay. I've
heart disease.
admittedly grown a lot more bold with my culinary disgusting.
He's gone up to 12 slices.
Since mate, the oily bread, that's a ritual for me now. I've become a lot more bold since I have lived alone.
Right.
You've tried real food.
Well, no. I mean, as in, like, it's worse.
Oh,
Like,
no.
Because before I had that, there's a shame element, isn't it?
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
it? Where
Oh,
you
yeah, I
don't
guess you
want to do it because you're afraid of judgment. Like, I didn't want to go into the kitchen when my housemates were around anyway. But
And make
just
8
because I
slices
had
of
to,
fried
well,
bread.
no, just because I had to deal.
Oh
with
right,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
agreed.
that I had anything against them. It's just people are very tiring.
People are people.
Careful. And so yeah, I'd like when I knew everyone else was out, I was like, oh,
Now
God
it's
damn,
time.
I'm gonna do like a cheese toasty, but I'm gonna put a little bit of like Frankfurter in there. Oh, that'll be well good.
That'll be delightful.
But now it's like, what can I put in? Chocolate spread. I don't know. Fucking dog.
Yeah, I was just about to say the cat. Yeah.
I wish I had chocolate spread for my French toast. I realised you asked for like a dream gluttonous meal, and I've said 2 slices of French
Well, no, but
toast.
yours is more
silica
like
gel.
anecdotal.
Yeah.
Silica gel.
Yeah, but because like I'm not in that hungry mindset right now, so I can't fantasize about food.
Yeah, I can't really.
I've just
think
drank a
about
can of lilt, so I'm satisfied. I'm like, what satisfies me right now is when I sit down and
I've
already got that.
I really like giant burgers with like 2 patties,
Three Brothers is a good.
loads
was
of
good.
cheese, loads of bacon.
Yeah.
Bit
You
of
should have had the
salad.
burger I had there. You couldn't even see the burger patty because
Oh,
of the
that
bacon.
day I wasn't feeling up to it. I don't remember why, or maybe I just didn't want to spend like 12 quid or whatever.
Maybe it was obscenely expensive,
Yeah.
but you got to treat yourself, right?
Yeah.
I could
Well-
probably just eat like 2 blocks of halloumi if I tried.
Oh, yeah, I think anyone could,
Oh
right?
yeah.
The
Squeaky cheese.
The squeaky cheese.
Sorry, I'll stop talking about food now. Continue.
Who would like to go first? Who wants to bring their special treat to the table?
I think
today?
you should go first this time.
Yeah?
Or is yours?
No, mine is I think quite tame in comparison to your guys' stuff.
Ooh, okay.
It's about when Peter and I went to BAFTA
Oh, yeah.
last week.
Which sounds made up.
It does sound made up, but it's very real.
It's very, 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 very real.
I promise you. It is kind of ridiculous. Hopefully people are familiar with BAFTA, but if you're not, it's a very prestigious institution in the UK, the British Academy Film
Television
Television
Awards.
Awards,
Yeah.
or art, or something like that.
Yeah.
We don't even know what the acronym
Awards.
is, and we went. And they're very posh. They all dress up in suits.
Yeah, to the
They
point
have
where
award-
we wondered whether we had to wear a suit. We
Yeah,
were like,
that was-
I don't have my suit with me here.
I have an itinerary of
Oh, yeah.
of how it went.
Oh.
But even we were there for the game portion. It's sort of like the UK's answer to the Oscars, if you will, but a little
Yeah.
bit, but very British,
Very, very,
very
British.
British.
yes.
And they even recognise games, so they have an entire games division, and even that is like proper upmarket stuff. Like I remember Notch was receiving some award, and he was upset that he was told he had to wear a suit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck not.
He
He can
seems like the
shut up.
kind
I
of
know.
guy who would.
What a dickhead.
Yeah.
He had to wear his shit hat. Notch, you and your shit hat.
Just fuck off already,
Just
please.
fucking You and your shit hat.
You can afford a suit, and you can afford not to wear a hat.
Notch to wear a hat.
Yeah.
So last Wednesday, our good friend Dave on Twitter.
At Dave on
Thanks,
Twitter.
Dave.
Asked us if we'd be up for being a last-minute replacement on the BAFTA Game Awards nomination stream. To which we were like...
Sorry, it sounded a bit like you said the BAFTA Game Awards nomination stream then.
Exactly. So we ummed and ahed about it for a bit. We also shot a worse games, I think, in that time as well.
Yeah.
And then afterwards we got more detail because we didn't know, because it was the day before.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know what the dress code was. We were honestly not sure if we'd have played any of the games because as much as we enjoy video games, we don't play everything. We can't play everything.
It's impossible.
We're not journalists. We're just idiots. We're just vidiots on the internet.
We are just total fucking buffoons.
Yeah.
So then eventually we decided to do it. Michael wanted to not.
Oh, I
be
tapped
any
out in
part
about
of it.
5 seconds of hearing about it. I was like,
At
fuck
all.
that. I can't do that.
But they only wanted one person. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That was our one demand, was that if we're going to do it, we have to do it as a duo to maintain the Ant and Dec style.
Well, that was probably the argument we would have given, but I think partly it was because between us, we thought we had more chance of knowing enough of the games. But if one of us went in, it would not be a good hit rate, I don't think.
That's very true.
Is it acceptable? No, it's not going to be okay to make jokes about Ant and Dec, is it? About...
Oh, God.
Oh, poor
I was going to say,
Ant.
which one's going to go into rehab?
Probably me once I do some more fucking oil shots.
Yeah,
right?
God,
Oh,
please,
yeah.
Ben, stop for your family.
So, just like that, we've somehow ended up as part of a panel of, and I quote, experts on this BAFTA.
Well, you did look very smart. You looked respectable.
The texts we were sending each other the night before, it was like, I'm going to be wearing these shoes. Okay, well, I've got some brown shoes. Right. Well, I'm going to be wearing this shirt and like a smart pair of black jeans. Because Peter and I don't have a suit.
No.
Well, I have one.
Well, I've got one, but it's at my parents' house.
Oh, I have one, but it's way too big for me because it was like from several years ago.
Yeah.
And I
Have
have.
you shrunk? You're just getting tinier and tinier.
I used to be 16 stone.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Damn,
I
son.
used to be a big old boy.
You used to have
Kit Kat
16
chunky.
slices of fried
I did.
oil
No,
bread.
that was that time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
It all makes sense.
The
No
now.
way.
gluttony's not gone, but the desire is very real.
You work out pretty well. You do a
I
good
do
job,
alright.
boy.
Like I try. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's not the point. That's why I have a big suit. I have one shirt in my entire wardrobe that fits me. And that was the one shirt that I had to wear.
I have one pair of nice shoes, and then we were texting each other like two girls before the year 11 leavers ball, going like...
We sent it to our girlfriends as well, and they
Yeah.
said it's finally like you stinky boys understand what it's like to go literally anywhere
I'm
with a group
going,
of
like,
girls. I'm wearing this
I don't know
dress
if I
and
can
I'm
wear
wearing-
these trousers with these shoes. What do you think? And like we're
Yeah.
sending, literally, we were laying out our clothes on the bed and
I
like
think it's
sending
because we wanted
pictures
to
to
be,
each other.
or at least I wanted to be fair to you. Like I didn't want to show up suddenly with smart shoes if you were going
Yeah.
to wear trainers because I didn't want to be a dickhead. Like I just wanted to make sure that we were on the,
Yeah, me too.
Not that I thought I could outstyle you in any capacity with my one shirt.
Me neither. Well, you
But
didn't
I
have a
just wanted
choice.
to-
Your shirt
yeah.
was nice. I really liked
thank
it.
you,
I'm just
Peter.
looking at a
Your
picture of
shirt was
you two
lovely
now.
as well.
Yeah, no, you both did well. It's a nice
It's all right,
shirt.
isn't it?
Very well done.
There are photos on our Facebook page if you want to go and see it.
Mm-hmm.
FYI, fee.
Fee.
So then we had to wake up at 4:30 the next day.
Jesus Christ.
The car, did it pick you up at like 10 to 5?
Yeah. Came
Got
early.
to mine for 5. Yeah, it came early for me as well.
Oh.
And then we got there at about 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and here's the thing. What pisses me off about trains, buckle up, is that they're so fucking expensive
Yeah.
that it's cheaper to get a private car from Bristol to the centre of London than it is to get 2 peak time rail tickets. How fucked up is that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's terrifying.
So we get there at 8, we go into the very fancy BAFTA building, and they've
Yeah.
got, the BAFTA mask statuettes on the wall.
With one
all over
eye.
the place. Yeah, with the sort of
Yeah,
winky face.
Is that
hey,
like the normal design, or is that
Yeah.
like where they hide the cameras inside that disappeared
like
eye?
that.
Oh,
It's like that's not some kind of like Terminator cyborg situation, or it might be. I don't know what the
You never
origin
know.
of that is.
Yeah.
So there were loads of those. We went up the stairs. There was a weirdly severe receptionist.
Yeah, he was very
wearing a
strange.
suit. He was very I am in an esteemed position.
yes.
He's not just some intern.
Please
doing
sign in.
Yeah, please sign in. So we had to sign in, and we were sort of joking back and forth, like, "Oh, what's the date?" And he was just like, just completely blanked us. As soon as he gave us a pen,
It was worse
he was
on the way
not
out,
interested.
which I'm sure you'll get to.
Yeah, we'll
but-
get. Yeah, that guy was like, he was a dick.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
So then we went up a couple of floors, wandered through this cafe, and met our contact Ryan, who was very
Ryan.
lovely. Must say, and I'll repeat it again at the end. Everyone we encountered was delightful.
Apart from the receptionist.
Apart from the receptionist, and it was a lovely time. So we wandered through the cafe, met Ryan, who took us up to our little study room, where we met the host of the panel, Julia Hardy, who's from Radio 1,
Yeah.
Timur Hussein, who's the UK editor at GameSpot,
Yeah.
and Alicia Judge from IGN.
Yeah.
We were told to turn off our phones, as we were amongst the first people to know the nominees. Not even the nominated, I don't know why I said the nominees. Not even the nominees are aware that they're nominees yet. We're apart from the BAFTA selection committee, the only people aware.
And it became apparent that because the day before we'd sent an email going, look, we're kind of up for doing this, but we'd kind of like to know some of the games in advance just so we know that we've like played them and stuff. They were like, no way, like we can't send them to you. And when we got there the next day, I could totally see like they were super, like they really didn't want anyone to know about it. Like even 5 minutes before it was going to go out, they were like, oh yeah, make sure. In fact, they told us to make sure that our paper on the desk didn't have the nominees visible.
Yeah.
Literally about 60 seconds before the VT was going to roll. Like it was going to go, hello, welcome to this stream.
God.
60 seconds later, the nominees were going to be announced on a VT. And
we
they were like,
couldn't let it be
do
spoiled."
not have your paper showing it a minute in
It's a bit
advance.
intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then we were then told we could turn on our phones because Peter and I didn't know many of the people,
No.
many of the nominees, and had to sort of research a lot of them, especially for the mobile category, because we weren't going through every single category.
It wasn't just us, to be fair. Like I think all of us
Yeah,
collectively
that's
were
true.
like, particularly the mobile games. I think even games journalists
Yeah.
don't play a great deal of them.
But they certainly were aware of them, and
Yeah.
we were not at all. So yeah, we went through that, and even then they were saying, well, no one's ever leaked this stuff, so it would be really bad if there was a leak
We know
and this
where
was the
it'll come
first time.
from.
Yeah.
We're like, shit, what are we doing here? Not that we were going to leak anything, of course.
No.
Not that we would ever dream of doing that. So we went into our little room where we were going to do the stream from.
Oh yeah, the set.
And we sat down, and they've got the big old BAFTA statuette in the corner, and then a projector screen behind us, and we've got to sit around this table, and our water was placed symmetrically in front of us.
There's a crew of like 5 people there,
Yeah.
like 2 sound guys, a lady working the auto cue, like
Loads of camera ops.
yeah, camera ops. Like I think there was
Being
like
live
a,
produced from outside.
yeah,
the
there were
room.
more people like directing from the outside, speaking through an earpiece. I don't think I've ever seen an earpiece in real life.
No.
I don't understand how people work with those. I couldn't like talk and have someone talk
It's
down at the
distracting,
same
isn't it?
time.
Yeah.
Well, Julia Hardy was truly a professional.
Yeah.
She was very good
Very,
at
very
hosting.
good.
If we were asked to host something, that would be an automatic no, because we wouldn't be able to do that. We could barely be panelists.
So please check our channel and our content before you ask us to host anything. That would be our reply. Just, do you know who we are?
Yeah, why us?
Yeah.
Why us? And we had a couple of run-throughs, and that all went fine. And then it came to doing the thing for real.
Yeah.
And suddenly, I don't know about you, but I was very nervous.
Well, I think it's very apparent, particularly in the first sort of 2 minutes, that we behaved as though we'd been through 25 years of life without having arms, and then
Our hands. We didn't know what to do
this
with
was
our
the
hands.
first day. This was the first day in
Yeah.
our life that we'd been gifted hands from the gods, and we were like,
It was the
"Oh,
clasped hands.
what do you do
Yes.
with these?"
The
I'm going to
clammy
sit
clasped
upright
hands.
and have my hands clasped together.
Yeah.
We've
Very-
never done anything like this though before, especially with such a comprehensive crew. It was such a prestigious thing. At least we were talking to Timur and Alicia beforehand.
Oh, yeah,
they
they were
said
lovely.
like we've not done stuff exactly like this, but we've done live streams from E3 and things like that where you're sat on a set and stuff, and you're 3, 2, 1, and you're live and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Never done anything like that.
Nah.
So this was really quite nerve wracking.
It's weird because we've done a lot of stuff in front of camera, and I even it wasn't just the arms thing. Like I didn't even necessarily know where to look.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's so strange because the number of times I've sat on that sofa in front of our Vidiots camera or the previous job. I shouldn't have an issue at least looking either down the camera or at the person I'm talking to.
You
But
just went
even
in
that,
like
I was just
full manual mode,
Yeah.
where you're aware of everything you're doing. Okay,
You're
what should I do with
manually
my eyes?
breathing.
Okay,
It
What do I
was
do with
like
my
one of the first
hands?
times I'd been on camera. It felt like that. It was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, how do I do this?
You take a drink and you're like, I don't want to drink too loud, so you end up taking a tiny amount, but then you don't want to swallow too loud, so you sort of inhale it a bit, and you're like, I can't cough.
Yeah.
I can't cough.
What if I need a wee? What if I need a wee?
I'm hungry.
You put your hand up and you ask.
My
so
stomach's
tired.
growling. Will that be picked up on the microphone?
I've never heard of half of these games.
What's an Xbox?
So just to highlight how ridiculous it was that we were even there, this is the intro as everyone's being introduced. And just sort of, you can kind of tell how we're sort of the odd ones out in this situation.
It's IGN host and editor Alicia Judge, UK editor at GameSpot Timur Hussain, and what I must stress are the self-titled Vidiots.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Agree to that now on camera.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
didn't call you that.
No.
Ben Potter and Peter Austin from the Yogscast. So welcome to you all. Thank you so much for coming in.
From the Yogscast.
From the Yogscast.
This is the thing. It's like
Why?
when we went to, what was that thing called in Paris?
What's next?
Yeah,
What's
the
next?
Focus.
Yeah.
Defocus.
Defocus. Whenever we go to these events now, we're generally listed on the guest list as the Yogscast, and I think like the event organisers beforehand, if they've not been in direct contact with us and got our names, all they think is like, oh, the Yogscast are coming to our event, and the
Sam and
fucking
Lewis are
Vidiots
coming.
turn up.
These fucking morons. Sean.
God.
Yeah, I think it was just. Hey, we got a Vidiots plug in there though.
Yeah, look at
that's the
that.
thing. We
Oh,
got
yeah.
we plugged our shit, even though it sounded ridiculous. But we got more of an introduction, I think, more airtime.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
Than
that's a
anyone
good
else
point.
because of how stupid our name is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how frankly ridiculous it is.
It's not the kind of name you can just gloss over, is it? It's just, oh, these are the Vidiots. That
Vidiots.
needs some like what? Sorry, can you explain a little bit?
Yeah.
so stupid. Then miraculously, we managed to get through the whole thing without too many issues. I did panic a little at the start, and I don't know if you noticed this, Peter. And I said that one of my favourite games that year was Cuphead, and I've never.
Oh yeah, I thought you were just. I thought you were just bullshitting.
Oh, I was.
Well, yeah.
I was bullshitting, but I was desperately trying to think of another game to go with my point, and I was like, well, Cuphead's one, but I haven't fucking played it.
No,
I love Cuphead. Yep.
I said. I
I
think
particularly like the cup.
Oh God,
I think a great deal of the games I talked about in that I'd not actually played. I've still not played Horizon because at the time I was playing like 2 other things, I think, and I just didn't do it. And then since then, just not done it. And I'd like to, and I will do. But I mentioned Horizon and Hellblade. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I raved about Hellblade. I was like, oh yeah, I love those live action bits in the cutscenes. I've never even seen a Let's Play of Hellblade. I've seen the trailer. And I've read a bit about it beforehand, but
You did have some really strong opinions of another game that you haven't played.
which one?
and a certain sect of people.
Wolfenstein 2.
Oh yeah.
Anything else that was particular stand out?
Well, yeah, kicking Hitler and shooting Nazis is a lot of fun, really.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
You were trying to skirt around it, but if you ask me directly, that's what I'm going to say.
All right. I don't know how BAFTA feels about that, but
You see, was she implying BAFTAs and Nazi sympathisers? What the fuck?
How can anyone be against
I
me
don't
saying...
know how BAFTA feels about Nazis.
I think it's more the idea of she's not sure why you went so specifically about
Well,
kicking
that was
Hitler.
that
That's
was
one of
my
his
one
selling points.
That was my one panic moment. Is that
Oh, was
we'd all
it?
been talking about Wolfenstein for a while, and then she'd asked literally the 3 other guests about it, including you.
Yeah.
And for the entire stream up to that point, she'd not necessarily asked all 4 of us for an opinion on the same game. So once she asked you about it, I was like, oh, good, she's not going to ask me. And then as soon as you were done, she turned to me and went, yeah, what about you? Any thoughts about Wolfenstein?
like kicking Nazis.
you know the BJ. You know the BJ Blazkowicz,
BJ Blazkowicz with
featured on our sexiest
Yeah.
gaming guys. You could have said, he's a big
was
boy,
a
isn't he?
handsome boy.
And
Yeah,
then you
but
would have got
that was
you
a
would have
proper
got
panic
your,
mode,
right? But looking back in hindsight, you could have got your laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a I would.
Yeah.
With BJ.
He
right?
puts the BJ in BJ, right?
he does.
Yeah.
It is.
No, I mean I stand by that. I don't regret saying it, but I think it's funny actually because when we first started talking about Wolfenstein, she opened with something like, "So yeah, Wolfenstein. Obviously, there are a few things that we might not want to talk about, or something like that." She said something along the lines of, "Let's not talk about Hitler and Nazis."
Right.
And then
I mean, it's kind
I
of.
thought she just meant spoilers. But
she may have meant spoilers, but my closing point on the Wolfenstein thing was the thing that she'd opened with, saying,
let's not talk about that one.
So
that went down really well.
Yeah.
And I think then Paul from Fourth Floor sent us an email and said, I also like kicking Nazis.
Yeah.
Just as the subject line, which is great.
Yeah.
So that went down really well. And that was pretty much it. The stream was finished and we just about BS'd our way through a prestigious BAFTA live stream.
Yeah.
And again, we got a nice little bit of extra airtime in the outro because of just how interesting our name is.
Oh.
So thank you so much to my guests, Alicia Judge, Tamor Hussain, and the Vidiots. Their words, Ben and Peter. And thank
Their
you so
words.
much.
Their words.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
As though like anyone would accuse her of.
You calling them boys Vidiots?
We're actually
Fucking
just
idiots
journalists
over
from IGN as well, but she goes, "Oh, and the idiots, Ben Potter and Peter
Nobody's
Austin."
slipped yet and called us idiots. It's just been idiots.
Not yet.
So that's nice. We said our goodbyes and re-encountered a somehow even moodier receptionist who pointed at the clock when asked what time it was.
Wow.
And produced a pen for us to sign out like it was some kind of magic wand.
Yeah.
Like he just pulled it out of his pocket and just went, and then put it on the table for
Like
us.
sort of held it in our face as though he was like, "I always carry a pen. Why don't you?"
Yeah, it was the time one that threw
Yeah,
me.
we were like,
though.
what's the time now? What's the time? And he just turned,
I just went,
pointed at the clock, and didn't say a word.
and then he didn't even look at the clock as well. He
Yeah.
just pointed up at the clock and then went back to, I don't know, being a dick,
Yeah.
whatever it was that he was doing, typing in his dick notes on Dick Simulator,
He was doing-
which is not something very different, I think.
He was doing that thing where if he'd been wearing glasses, he would have been looking over the top at them.
Yeah,
like-
on his nose.
yeah,
like the bridge
yeah.
of his
He
nose.
sort of had his head down and was looking upwards, but was facing forwards. If you see what I mean, his eyeballs were sort of in a rolled position, like that.
Pre-roll.
Yeah.
Nice.
The whole stream is actually viewable on BAFTA's YouTube channel. I think it's
Hey.
their latest video, so you can go and watch it there if you want to see the whole thing. Everyone was incredibly professional, and it was such an honour to be
Except
invited
us.
along. Except us. Even if it's completely insane that they asked us at all.
Thank you, BAFTA.
And there we go. That's the thing that I brought to talk about today.
The time we got baffled.
The time we got baffled. Should we have another question?
Yeah.
Can I go to the bathroom, please? My tummy's rumbling.
Is that your question?
Yeah. I do need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So we'll put
We'll
a pause on this for
We'll
a
be
second.
right back. Is it silica gel again?
Yeah, it's coming out the other end. It's not
God's
good.
sake.
On the subject of the BAFTAs and stress, I want to tell you. I know you wanted to move on to a question, but it's
Yeah.
kind of relevant right now.
Go on.
The day before the BAFTAs, I went to get a haircut
Yes.
because I thought I need one anyway, and also I'm going to be on a BAFTAs live stream tomorrow. I should probably finally get this haircut.
Yeah.
So I did a quick Google before the end of work to see where was going to be open, and I realised the only place that was going to be open after like 5:30 was this one that was conveniently on my walk home, right? But they didn't seem to have a website or anything, so I couldn't really find out what was going on. I could just see the opening times on Google, so I was like, right, I'll go and assume it's fine. So I was walking past, and I opened the door, and as I was stepping into the door, I sort of looked around and thought, this isn't, I shouldn't necessarily be in here.
Okay.
Oh.
And I noticed also that I'd opened the door that had the closed sign on.
Oh, good.
Oh.
And so I thought, oh, this is a get out. So I sort of looked at them and I went, oh, sorry, are you closed? And he sort of looked at me, this guy, and he hesitated and went, no, it's okay. Yeah, well, there's time. And I was like, shit. Now he's made allowances for me. So being British, I stepped in
Yes.
and sat down on the sofa. It was very swanky inside. There were two barbers in there who were kind of young and sexy men with
Sure.
with
All love a sexy man.
yeah, with really nice hair and like super like cropped beards and stuff.
Right.
And I could tell that they weren't from Britain, right? I could tell that they were a foreign.
Right.
And it became quickly apparent
Yeah.
it was a Turkish barber.
Oh, nice.
Now, Turkish barbers are very nice. The Turkish, they know how to barb.
Oh, yeah, they're really
They
good.
Sure.
But as I sat and watched what was going on around me, I was like, I'm so out of my depth and my cultural comfort zone here.
Right.
Because they were shaving a man with fucking dental floss or something, or like cheese wire. They just had string. Like he had his arms at like full wingspan
Right.
with string. And I think he was like plucking this guy's beard with string.
Yeah. Seen that before. It's
And I was
weird.
like, what is going on? Then the guy who sat next to him in the other chair was being shaved with like a cutthroat razor. And I was
Yeah,
like, okay, that would be interesting, having someone with a blade at your throat. So eventually it was my go. Went and sat in the chair. and he did my hair for me. It was very nice.
Yeah, did a great job as well,
Peter.
Thanks very much. Yeah. Then he got his cutthroat razor out and was like just doing some really sharp edges on me, and I was going, okay, this is interesting. Then he said he sort of looked at my face for a while, and he was like, I can do the face for free. And I was like, what? And I just sort of went, okay. And as he was doing it, I sort of looked up at the prices, and they do like facial hair and like brows and stuff for like a $5 or something.
Right.
So I guess he was just doing it. I don't really have either of either.
Okay.
But he wanted you to come back in the future when you do have
well,
those.
exactly, and then pay for them, I guess. Okay. So then he goes over to his little sink thing, and he gets out the dental floss again. And I'm like, where's this going? And he starts plucking my brows with dental floss.
Nice.
How did that feel?
It felt all right. Like it didn't hurt, but I didn't expect it. And suddenly this string just comes towards my eye, and I'm like, what is this?
Fucking hell.
So I'm like, okay, just act like you do this all the time.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
normal.
I always go to the dentist and have my brows done.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
I'm sitting there, he's doing that, and I'm like, God, he really knows what he's doing. At which point he puts the string on the table. I'm sort of in a bit of a daze, just kind of looking around the room or looking in the mirror. And I don't really notice in time to react that he grabs a lighter, lights his lighter, shoves it in my ear.
Hang on. Let's break that down.
Wait, what? So
Let's break that
what
down.
exactly did he shove in your ear?
A lit lighter.
Right.
So he grabs a lighter
Yeah. And I'm
He
sort of like...
ignites it.
Yeah.
and then shoves it in your ear.
Puts the flame inside my ear.
Right.
And...
Is that to get rid of the little hairs?
Well, so it all happened so fast. It was...
Officer.
Officer. It was like this, officer. I didn't see it coming, for one thing.
Yeah, he would never. That's the last thing you'd expect to
Exactly.
happen.
And it was weird. It kind of, in a way, it happened so fast, but it was also one of those slow motion moments where I had a long time in the split second that it was in there to think, okay, this is probably normal.
Yeah.
He's probably doing some kind of special Turkish barber thing where they like light your ear hair on fire. But maybe he's some kind of maniac fetishist, and I was the last one in the shop at this point. And is he just setting fire to my ear?
Maybe it was like some sort of Shrek scam where he's trying to melt your earwax.
The wax.
And then
Make a
get it
candle.
out, make a little candle, and then that's his entire side business.
Yeah. So
So I'm just looking at a YouTube video now of Turkish barbers' traditional hair removal technique. So yeah, it is an established technique apparently.
yeah.
Wow.
He just struck a lighter, and it was in there for only like half a second, and it just got a bit warm. Like it didn't feel. I feel like I
thought
could
that
do
would
it
be
to myself.
So sensitive.
Well, yeah,
I wouldn't do it to
I
yourself.
wouldn't do it to myself, but
It's a very
I
bad
feel like
idea.
I could and not be too worried about doing it.
You could.
And then yes.
I mean, you're supposed to not put cotton buds in your ears.
Yeah, but
let
a
alone
lit flame is
lit
fine.
flame. Yeah.
So then you walk round to the other ear and did that. And
You were ready that time.
yeah, well,
You
sort
clenched
of.
your ear hole shut.
Yeah, I was just trying to play it really cool, like, you
Right.
know, oh yeah.
Hey, it's just me, the guy that wandered in 2 minutes before,
The
2
wa-
minutes after closing time.
I just felt like such a white guilt milk toast cracker boy.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
You
Who
shouldn't have
come
been
in
there.
at closing time.
I really
Exposed
tried to be
so
cool.
much culture.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do with it apart from steal it and make it your own.
Yeah, I don't want to, by the way, I don't want to come across as xenophobic. Like, I don't want to be in a room with Turkish men. I just meant that I'm so white and uncool and, like, basic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, like, I had no right to be anywhere where there are talented, like,
Hairmen.
cool men who really know what they're doing. And, you know, I should just be in, like, some horrible...
Greg's. You know, Greg's do haircuts now. You
Yeah.
ask them nicely.
Absolutely. So they did an amazing job. And I didn't even know I had hair in my ears to light on fire. But
now,
apparently,
there you go.
I think
Well,
it
not
is-
anymore.
It's that
It's all
little
gone.
soft, downy kind of. You can't even see it, but
Yeah.
boy, you can smell lit hair.
Ah.
Yeah. And then when I had a shower later on in the evening, like 2 hours later, I could
Yeah.
smell it again.
Oh.
yeah.
Interesting.
Weird.
So that's nice. That's my story.
What
of
a story.
the time
Thank
they
you for bringing it along,
Thank you,
Peter.
yeah.
lit my ear on
Would you go
fire.
back to the Turkish barbers?
Absolutely. I'm going to go back there.
Have you got a name for him?
I think they were called Barbers. Starbers.
Yeah, they should have just called themselves
Ali
Starburst,
Starbers.
shouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's
There was
lovely.
Near where I'm from, there was a kebab shop called Abracadabra.
Oh, that's good. There's a few of those.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah,
quality name.
There are a few hair salons called Curl Up and Dye.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
really
I've
good.
seen one in Bristol, yeah.
Yeah. There was the one in Bristol.
Yeah.
We should come up with an original pun no one's ever done and make a shop out of that.
Yeah. What kind of shop?
I don't know. What do we like? Silica gel,
Fried bread.
Silica hell.
cheese, thick cheese.
If you did like fried bread with sort of fruit compote on it, and like various different toppings you could get,
Yeah.
you could call it bread and buried.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
quite good, yeah.
But
You like that?
also, you're a funeral director.
Oh yeah.
But you're just known for your fried
Delicious.
bread.
Oh, you
fruit
don't even do the
compote.
fried bread. You just do. You're a funeral director, but you also do like little fruit snacks, just dead and buried.
Right. People come in, they walk past the coffins,
Yeah.
and they
They go
say,
straight to the table of fruit
"Fam,
snacks.
Can have
where are
some,
the fruit snacks?
Some straws, please.
Got to go for those straws and those bloobs." Right?
Bloobs.
Bloobs is what they're called. Bobby Baba Bloobie.
There we go. It took us 50 minutes, but we got them in.
We got it. We referenced
Yes.
it. What a lovely story. Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
We're going to quickly go through a couple of questions, and then it's Michael's turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
This question comes from Antonia, full stop,
Right.
at They All Died, oops.
Hey, I know that name.
Antonia sent us some stuff
I think so.
in probably an episode of Person Tap that's not gone out
Maybe
yet.
it's not gone out yet.
We've
Thank you,
received it
Antonia.
though, Antonia. Thank you.
Thank you.
How did Michael get back from France? I
Oh.
demand a detailed story, including but not limited to explosions, gunfights, and sexy women. It has to be the truth, of course.
It was a long, long old story, but I'll start from the beginning. So I woke up in an alleyway next to a dumpster.
Yeah.
I think it was about 4 p.m. in the day, and I realised at this point Ben and Peter had left the country.
Yeah.
And I was distraught. I had nothing to my name. I had just literally clothes on my back, and I had to figure out a way back to England.
Don't speak a word of French.
No, it was awful. And as you know, no one in France speaks English. Not a single person.
Or Geordie, for that matter.
So I'm going around. Why are you, man? What's the crack? What's happening? And everyone's like, what the fuck? Who's this man?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So I walked towards the local port. So I think, I might be able to jump on a ferry.
I thought you were going to say the local pawn shop.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have had a detour on the way, but that's not the point of the
I
story.
bought a replacement Peter.
Yeah.
No, I meant pawn shop. As in,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
right.
You innocent.
I bought a replacement Peter.
Yeah.
So I went to the ferry and I thought, I'll slip on a bit of cargo, one of those big crates, get in one of those. But sadly, they were all locked. They keep security tight on lockdown there.
What the fuck?
So I was against myself. I was like, I don't know what to do. Then I found a lovely, lovely man. He had the most chiseled face. He was beautiful.
Where are you going with this?
And this man had a bicycle.
Oh yeah.
It was a really nice bicycle. It's one
Not
of those ones.
that useful for getting across
Yeah,
the
did he
English
ride
Channel.
it really fast
No.
at the sea?
This is the difference, though. There wasn't any bicycle. It was a one with a motor in it. So you could pedal, charge up this motor, and then for like 5 minutes have a nice, just cruise along.
Right.
And so for 3 days, I pedaled,
Yeah.
I cruised, I pedaled, I cruised across France, up through the Eurotunnel, on the train tracks I went on my bike, ding, ding,
Yeah.
just like that. I pulled up into London.
Wait.
Where
so-
did you get on the Eurostar? Because it sounds like you went a lot further away from the stop in Paris.
Yeah, it
I'm
also
not sure
sounds
that-
like
I didn't. My phone had died, so I didn't have a map. So
there
I
are some holes in this story. You said that you were in Paris, then you went to the port to sneak aboard a ship across the English Channel, at which point you realised you couldn't get on one, so you went all the way back to Paris to get a bike from a man.
No, the man was at the port.
Right, so
Yeah.
why did you just say you cycled from Paris?
So I'm not sure where the port is. Can you tell this story?
Paris is very much inland.
The next question comes from
Anyway, he made it home, the end.
Eskil
Sex.
Bjornstad at ESSKIL94 on Twitter.
ESSK. Eskil.
Eskil. Eskil?
Eskil. Eskil.
Eskil
E-skills.
Bjornstad.
E-bills.
I think that's how your
It's an
name's
excellent
pronounced.
name.
E-skills. Asks, what games are you most looking forward to hearing more about at E3? At the E3.
Oh.
That's a good question.
Is there a
Oh.
good game? I know what yours is, Peter.
Yeah. Beyond Good and Evil, definitely. Beyond Good and Evil 2, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they change... I don't know, they might change it to like Beyond Good and Evil 0 or something, because it's meant to be a prequel. It seems a bit weird calling it 2 when it's a
Good and Evil
prequel. but-
minus one.
-1, yeah. Or Beyond Good and Evil Genesis or something. Oh, so
Transfish.
excited. So excited about that.
I'm curious about Smash because I never properly played a Smash game anyway. I never like really got into it. And I really want this to be kind of the time where I give it a go and I get into it and it'd be nice. So I'm really curious. Just basically to get a release date for that. That's all I need to know.
I love the concept of the Smash games. I've never played PlayStation All Stars, but again, that kind of thing. I don't know if they maybe pulled it off really badly, but I love the idea of like a huge, a bit like kind of Avengers, I guess, a kind of big shared universe where everyone comes together
comes
and
to play.
Yeah, comes to play together. It's such a nice idea.
Some weird characters in that game.
I've never owned a Nintendo console. I always used to play it at my friend's house. Yeah, I played N64 a lot with my best friend, but I never owned one. And we played Smash there, but I've never like properly attached myself to the characters, so I don't quite get as much out of Smash as I know that I would if I was attached to the characters. Because when all that like crossover stuff happens, I think it's great.
I'm looking forward to hearing. I don't know if it's still too early, and I don't want them to rush anything and just show us shit that's not finished, but I'd like to see some more Last of Us stuff. And equally, I'd be very interested to hear if there are any tentative plans regarding that Nintendo Switch Pokemon title yet.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause if they do a fully blown Switch RPG, then I am well and truly in it. Because they were going to do one for Nintendo 64, but it got scrapped. And that's the only other time they've tried to make a Game Freak style actual Pokemon RPG for home consoles rather than just handheld.
They'd be fools not to. That would sell
It's insane,
so
right?
well.
If we weren't very kindly sent a Switch by Nintendo, I would buy one for that.
Oh yeah,
Like 100%. And it would be as simple as that.
Also, you're thinking there might be a bit of a Bloodborne sort of
Oh yeah, of course.
spiritual
Yeah.
successor.
Oh, look
or...
at you, Peter, looking out for me.
Yeah.
Shadows Die Twice, shown off quite recently. That's incredibly exciting because it's from Software.
It's from.
Who are amazing, and we don't know if it's PlayStation exclusive or not, but suddenly loads of stuff started showing up, like loads of content from Bloodborne that was completely locked down on the disc, sort of early concepts and unused assets.
I love things like
and
that.
Enemies and bosses and stuff like that. Suddenly started exploding online, which was weird. Because the timing of it is a bit suspect, almost like it was sort of planned. And I don't know if it's a spiritual successor to Bloodborne or what, but more From Software stuff is more than welcome.
Also, Spyro, please.
Yes,
if and
Spyro
when.
too,
And Crash has apparently a, quote, 5-year plan. So
What?
people are thinking there's going to be more Crash games. They've already said they're going to remaster an actual old Crash game, which is probably going to be CTR. But I think also they might be intending to just make some new games now that they've built the engine.
Yeah,
So,
it's relatively easy now.
Yeah.
Michael,
Lots.
Hi.
what have you brought today?
Oh, it's time to get spooky.
Oh,
Is it
spooky,
Jeff the
spooky
Mongoose?
time.
Let's play a game of how many people did they murder?
Oh my god.
Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da. So I've only got 2 murderers here.
Okay.
Because I was going to do 5, and I thought, that's a lot of murder.
And also, Mambo already has the rights to all things pertaining to the number 5.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
A little bit of Monica.
In my life.
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 A little bit of Monica.
In the sun.
A little bit of Monica.
In my life.
A little bit of Monica.
In Milan.
A little bit of Monica.
Your man.
Ah!
Oh, that peaked. Sorry.
Yeah, it really did. Sorry, boys.
Michael.
Let's get spooky. So I brought along 2 murderers. I wanted to really...
They're with us right now.
Put away the knives. I said
Jesus
use them
Christ.
later. God. Sorry about that. That's so impolite.
Dave! We said just keep... God, at Dave. Just keep him out at Dave.
At Jack the Ripper. _1.
Jack _ the Ripper.
I really wanted to include H.H. Holmes on this list because he's one of my favourite murderers. Famous for building his murder castle.
And also the Master Chief as well.
But yeah, also the Master Chief.
yeah.
But the problem with him, Michael, for this game is that he killed between like 8 and 200 people.
Yeah, actually, pretty much spot on there.
So
Yes,
Wow,
estimates
that's weird that you know that.
Yeah, so, I'm going to ask you second because I know Ben doesn't know much about murderers and serial
No,
killers.
weirdly, I
I
don't
know
do much
loads.
extracurricular learning on the killers of the world.
Yeah.
Sadly, there's no definite number on H.H. Holmes. He just killed a lot of people, so it doesn't quite work for the game. But we're going to start with one of my all-time favourite murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edward Theodore Gein, also known as the Butcher of Plainfield.
I'm familiar with the name Ed Gein.
Ed Gein. Oh, well, I've got a whole
But I don't know
synopsis here
anything
from
about him.
Well, you're about to learn.
Okay.
Born in 1906, he lived in a little town in Wisconsin. He was raised by... He had a very...
was raised by wolves.
Oh, it would have been better for him if he was raised by wolves.
Oh.
He had a very sheltered upbringing. He was raised by his extremely religious and controlling mother, Augusta Wilhelm.
Seymour!
The house is on fire!
Was that Shaggy Doo then?
That was supposed
Zoinks!
to be
house is
Seymour's mother.
Right.
I'm thoroughly bad at impressions. Now, Augusta Wilhelm sounds like you can kind of picture that woman in your head.
Yeah.
Like
She's
a very
very
strong,
severe.
formidable,
Pursed lips like a bottom.
She carries a crop. A riding crop.
Oh, yeah.
Not some corn on the cob.
It's a bit sexy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Augusta just got a lot more interesting.
Oh.
Now, Augusta would regularly preach to little old Ed about the innate immortality. See, this is good reading. Immorality of the world, the evil of drinking, and her belief that all women were naturally prostitutes.
Wow.
She reserved time every afternoon to read to her.
Sorry, what basis in religion does that have?
Yeah, she was very...
Where did that come from?
Wow.
I think it was her own projections of...
It's that like weird interpretation, isn't it, where people read something and they just assume, like Eve was made for Adam from his rib, just basically for him to fool around with in the garden, right? Not that that's what women really are, but that's what some psycho Augusta could potentially interpret from the fact that God made a woman for the man.
Religion is problematic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It can be nice, but sometimes people take it a bit too
Can
far.
be. They do some good cake sales.
Yeah.
Now,
they do.
Augusta,
Yeah.
she reserved time every afternoon to read her several children from the Bible, usually selecting graphic verses from the Old Testament concerning death, murder, and divine retribution. So this is what Ed's kind of childhood was filled with.
How to raise your child
Yeah, just do this.
by Augusta fuckface. What's her name?
Wilhelm.
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 Now, over the years, all of Ed's family died off until it was just Ed and his mother alone in their
What are
rural
the
farm.
chances of that?
At one point, Augusta had a paralysing stroke and Ed committed himself to looking after her. Sometime in 1945, Gein later recounted he and his mother visited a man named Smith who lived nearby to purchase straw. According to Gein, Augusta witnessed Smith beating a dog. A woman inside the Smith home came outside and yelled him to stop. Smith beat the dog to death. Augusta was very upset by the scene, but what bothered her was not the brutality of a dog. It was the presence of a woman.
What?
What?
She was not upset about the fact that a dog was being beat to death. It was the fact a woman came running out. He was like,
Tried to stop the man from killing the dog.
Wow.
yeah.
That's not good.
Augusta told Ed that the woman was not married to Smith, so had no business being there. Smith's harlot, she called her.
Oh, she shouldn't have even been there.
Yeah.
But she said all women are prostitutes. Why is she against prostitution if she's telling her son, by the way, all women are prostitutes?
She's a bit of a funny one.
God.
She had a second stroke soon after and died shortly afterwards. So it could be seen, kind of the interpretation there is that she was killed by just the presence of an unmarried woman. She was
Wow.
that ridiculous and devout. So seeing the sight of a man with a woman to which he was not married to was enough to practically kill Augusta. She died December 29th, 1945 at the age of 67. Ed was devastated by her death. She was basically his entire world. So when she died, that sent him down into a spiral of just, not good things, as you're about to find out.
Ugh.
In the words of author Harold Schechter, he had lost his only friend and one true love, and he was absolutely alone in the world.
Jeez.
So with all this, what do you think the result is of this kind of upbringing and a toxic relationship with your mother?
He's going to open one of those fruit sweets. Cum.
Bingo!
Cum sweets.
Death parlor
Oh,
kind of environments. What were we calling it?
a murder hotel.
No.
What? Sweeney Todd.
No. The pun we did earlier, Sweetie Todd.
Oh, dead and buried.
Dead and-
buried.
Yeah.
Dead and buried.
Bread and buried.
Bread and
There we
buried.
go.
Bread and
Perfect.
buried. God, what a waste of time.
Right. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Michael. I don't know much about this murderer.
Yeah.
I know my murders, but I don't know this one. I know more about British murder, really.
Okay, well, good. I've got 2 American murderers, so maybe they'll be good for you.
Okay.
So the reason he was famous was the things he did with the bodies.
Right.
When he
What?
was questioned by police, who revealed he made as many as 40 nocturnal visits to local graveyards and dug up bodies and returned them to his house. Interestingly, while digging up the graves, he claimed he was in a daze-like state. It was almost as if mentally he'd kind of switched off and he went on autopilot, went to these graveyards, dug up bodies, and would take them home to do, well, I'll tell you what he did with them.
Well, there's one of two things. He either ate them or fucked them, or both.
Did he dress him up?
Actually, you're getting close with dressing up.
Okay.
Did
he
he-
posed them? He like taxidermied them or something?
He spoke to them like they were his mother. He had
played,
tea with them.
He played Nintendo 64 with them.
Yeah, no, he propped them all up. He had like a nice... Because obviously no one else in the house, he made like nice little characters out of all these different people, put them in situations, dressed them up in funny hats. It was
the
nice.
star player in like a really wonky five-a-side game.
The only player.
Yeah.
So,
What
with
did he
all
do?
these bodies, soon after his mother's death, Gein began to create a woman suit out of skin using these bodies.
I was close with clothes. wasn't
Yeah.
I?
So,
A woman's suit.
the idea was he could become his mother and literally crawl inside of her.
This rings a bell.
Yeah, I think
It's
he
a little
made
bit-
a whole suit out of people's skin, and
It's
he
like
would
Silence
dance
of
in
the
the
Lambs.
moonlight in it. It is, yeah. I think it's a heavy influence on that, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre is another influence. So, on a police search of his house, police found a whole human basket of bones and fragments, a waste basket made of human skin covering several chair seats, skulls on his bedpost, female skulls, some with the top sawn off, balls made from human skulls,
Wow.
a corset made from female torso skin from shoulders to waist, leggings made from human leg skin, masks made from the skin of female heads, and then tie a head in a burlap sack. A heart in a plastic bag in front of his stove. Kind of, maybe he was eating it, I'm not sure.
Right.
A belt made from human female nipples.
Wow.
What?
4 noses. And a
Four
lamp.
noses.
And a lamp.
partridge
in a pear tree.
Tree.
And a lampshade made from the skin of a human face. So you're getting quite heavy.
Why the face?
That's
Why
a
not
like-
use like some,
yeah, it'd be a bit
some
weird,
bum
wouldn't it?
skin? I don't want my lampshade looking at me.
Maybe.
That's
But
odd.
you're not Ed Gein. You don't.
Moisturize me.
So you don't want a lamppost with a face, but you want a belt made of human nipples. That's the impetus here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm uncomfortable.
So
What are we doing, Michael?
We're going to guess how many people he's murdered.
Okay.
He was the inspiration for a lot of more modern horror, including Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. And for me, I think he is kind of the turning point for when horror just got fucked up. It's like it was really kind of switched people on to the real cruelty in the world and how messed up you can be, which is why I like him so much, because he's a real devil. He was arrested on the morning of November 16th, 1957, but how many people did he actually kill?
How many people did he kill?
Well,
Let's find out.
40 visits, over 40 visits to the graveyard, but he did actually do some murdering as well.
He did do murdering as well, yes.
I'm going to say... Let's go for 17 people.
Okay, that's your guess. Peter, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, see, you have to think about how easy it is to get away with killing, X amount of people. Like, people go missing and get reported. It's not that easy. Yeah, I'm going to say like 12.
You ready for the shocking truth?
Oh, God.
He only actually killed 2 people.
Oh,
The rest of them were just bodies he dug up. He killed 2 people.
okay.
So that's all right. He's
Right.
not too bad.
He only
That's
killed 2
fine.
people.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, the
He
thing
didn't get his third strike.
Yeah.
you got to get your
This is
nipple belt
third warning.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer. That
Okay.
name should
I know that.
invoke terror in
I know
everyone.
the name.
Also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, who operated between the years of 1978 and 1991.
Oh,
So he had
God.
a 13-year stretch there.
That's worrying.
From a young age, Dahmer had an interest in animals. He collected various large insects, which he kept in jars. Later, this escalated to collecting animal carcasses on the roadside.
Yeah, that's
He
normal.
dismembered these animals and stored various limbs in jars. He explained he was curious about how each animal fitted together. So already, as a little child...
Most kids just get a jigsaw, but,
No,
that's
you
all
have to
right.
put together a dog.
Everyone's pulled the legs off of Daddy Longlegs, but that's like level 1.
Yeah, that's
where
like
you leave it.
basic educational. That's a bit fun, but yeah, not
That's
carcasses.
Hey,
not
Billy,
educa-
Billy
what-
said, look what Billy said you can do with this Daddy Longlegs. Like that's it. It's not like, hey, do you want to see something cool?
I don't think pulling the legs off of Daddy Longlegs
No, it is
even
more sadistic.
educational, is it? You
No,
don't go
it's,
like,
it's fucked up.
oh,
but like
what's
kids
this?
do it.
It's a leg. Oh, yeah, kids do it.
Kids are weird.
Yeah.
When Dahmer reached puberty, he discovered he was homosexual and began to fantasize sexually about dominance and having control over a completely subservient partner. Eventually, these thoughts became intertwined with dissection, which is always a fun combination.
They go hand in hand.
Oh, yes.
Hand in hand that's no longer attached.
Yeah.
He became known as a class clown in his high school years. The pranks he pulled would become known as doing a Dahmer.
Do the Bartman, everyone.
Everyone loved them. These pranks included bleating, which I assume is just going,
Is
Michael,
it you?
oh my God, I'm
Michael
Dahmer.
Dahmer.
Simulating epileptic seizures and knocking...
What?
Classic.
Classic. They're doing the Dahmer.
He's doing a
again.
Dahmer.
Oh, he's doing a classic, Jeff.
Guys, come on.
Everyone look, he's
You're
doing a
never
Dahmer.
No, you
classic.
don't need an EpiPen. He's just doing a Dahmer. It's fine.
He'd also knock over items at school and in local stores. What a
Wow.
clown.
Whoa. He'd knock things off.
Oh,
Oh.
what a...
Is he a cat?
While he's bleating. Just.
That's not a well man already. That's a strange boy.
Yeah. He was 18 years old when he claimed his first victim, just 3 weeks after his graduation. He
Well,
picked up a
he
hit...
deserves a reward.
Yeah, he's been
worked
stuck
hard.
in at school. He's been making everyone laugh. You got to have a little bit of chill out time. Mm-hmm. He picked up a hitchhiker named Mark Hicks and lured them into his house under the pretext of them drinking together. After several hours, Hicks wanted to leave.
Because he was bleating like a maniac.
Watch me knock over
You're
this
making
thing.
me uncomfortable. He keeps having a fit.
Please, Dahmer, stop. After several hours, Hicks wanted to leave, and in response, Dahmer bludgeoned him with a 10-pound dumbbell and proceeded to strangle Hicks to death.
Wow.
After this, it was 9 years until his next victim, so he had quite a lot of cooling off time. Mm-hmm. In that time, he got a job working at a local chocolate factory. Oh, what a
Jeffrey
sweet
and
man.
the chocolate.
Come with me.
And you'll see a world of desecration.
Oh, nice.
In 1986, he got the idea of stealing a freshly interred corpse. He attempted to dig the coffin from the ground, but found the soil too difficult to dig and ultimately gave up on that plan.
Oh, I bet he just left it as well.
Yeah, it's all in this messed up state. Not like Eddie Gein. He managed to go through with that stuff.
Yeah, Ed Gein was a professional.
Yeah.
However, in the summer of 1991 was when Dahmer spiraled into insanity and chaos. He had the idea of turning his victims into zombies. His ultimate dream was a slave that he had total control over.
Oh, God.
Unhappy with having to deal with corpses, he wanted something living. His methods of doing this included drilling holes into the skulls of his victims and pouring hydrochloric acid or boiling water into the brain
Oh, I've heard this.
in the hopes it would just completely, turn off the brain and make a lifeful zombie for him to have fun with.
Wow.
One of the people that he injected hydrochloric acid into actually managed to escape the apartment.
Wow.
Dahmer returned. So obviously, Dahmer injected this, drilled a hole. Oh, I say obviously like it's logical, but
Yeah, that's fine.
he
That's
drilled a
normal
hole
behaviour,
into this
yeah.
person's head, poured in the hydrochloric acid, and went out to get some shopping or something, and left the person in
Some
the
Krispy Kremes or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's American.
He saw the hole and was like, "Oh, I could do
man,
some
it could go
donuts
nice
right
one.
now."
That reminds me of donuts.
Dahmer returned to him, and on the corner of his street, he saw his victim, naked, frantically talking in Laotian. He went over to investigate, and shortly after, the police arrived. And Dahmer simply stated he was an intoxicated lover and stated that this was simply a domestic incident and he had nothing to worry about. So what did the police do? They find this person naked, running around screaming on the street. They hand them back to Dahmer.
No.
Yeah.
Good.
Takes him back up to the apartment
Fuck.
and promptly kills him. So the police were literally within inches of saving a man's life, but they just thought, oh, it's just some lover's tiff. They'll be fine. Let's just put him back
What
in
about
the
the
apartment.
giant hole in his head? What?
Well,
Yeah,
it's probably,
that's-
maybe it was if he was only injecting it, it might have been a tiny little pinhole.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Size thing.
Ugh.
The police went up to Dahmer's apartment, returned the victim to Dahmer, and promptly left. Yeah, then he killed the victim.
Cool.
So later, again, more killings happening in this time. More victims managed to escape from the apartment and managed to find some police officers. They were taken to Dahmer's apartment where police found Polaroids. But this time, the police actually went inside and investigated. They were doing the job when you
Yay.
find
Hey.
someone, in a messed up state on the street. They found several Polaroids of various bodies within that very apartment. So looking at these
Right.
Polaroids of decapitated torsos and stuff, oh, this looks like the sofa. Oh, this is in this building.
God.
Oh, that's good.
Weird.
Jesus.
So when the police were looking at these Polaroids, Dahmer realised, oh, this isn't good. And at this point, he tried to flee the room. The police overpowered him and he was promptly arrested. One of the officers opened Dahmer's fridge and found a freshly severed head. As Dahmer lay pinned on the floor, he turned to one of the officers and muttered the words, "For what I did, I should be dead." So, with this kind of nice little rip-roaring guide through Dahmer's career,
Yeah.
how many people...
Is he still alive?
No, that's a good question. I think he's dead. I think, yeah, he's beaten up and killed in prison.
Okay, that's
shortly
fine.
after getting there.
Cool.
So with all that information, How many people did he kill?
Wow. Probably a fair few, I think.
It's quite a sizable number.
I'm going to say Lucky 13.
Ooh.
I'm going to say he killed 20 people.
Wow.
Ben's closest.
Is he?
He killed 17 people.
Oh, dear.
There you
How
go.
about that?
How fun was that?
Thank you, Michael, for bringing that.
I'm glad we did that last, because that's gonna turn off quite a few people.
Don't worry. I've got a question here that might pull us out of this spooky slump.
Spooky.
You ready?
Yeah.
Fox's Gaming at Fox's Gaming asks, what's your favourite cereal?
Serial killer or...
No!
Oh, well, I don't know cereal. I only know
You've
serial
made it.
killers.
What's your favourite cereal? Could be like a children's breakfast cereal or something you used to eat.
Fruit Loops. Only ever had it
Loops?
once when I was on holiday, and it was...
They don't sell it over here.
No, they don't, sadly.
Is it actually fruity or is it just sugar?
Sugar. Like, it just
Right,
it
'cause
does
if it
literally
had
taste
like
sugar.
weird different. If it was like Starburst flavored cereal, that would
Yeah,
be
it'd be a bit much, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be horrible.
Oh, it was so nice. It was when I was on holiday. I didn't eat it with milk either. I ate it with yogurt.
Michael,
Just sugar and yogurt.
Oh yeah, that was a good morning.
still with us. He's still with us.
Did you sprinkle sugar on it as well?
Oh,
or-
is that-
And then I
Silica
proceeded
gel.
to fry 7 slices of bread and have it with it. Made a sandwich.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah, dude. Delicious. What about you, Pete?
I'm not much of a cereal man, to be honest.
Was there a cereal you remember seeing the cartoons? Well, not cartoons, you know what I mean, the adverts and stuff as a child, and thought, yeah, that looks fucking awesome.
I mean, I don't like chocolate, but the Cocoa Pops adverts were the best, I think.
yeah.
I'd rather
With the
have a
monkey.
bowl of...
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to finish it. That's fine.
Cocoa
Pops.
Pops.
Yes.
It had like an actual narrative in each episode. Like, Croc was jumping on top of my house, and I got my fucking shotgun and kicked him out.
Chocolate
Nice.
shotgun.
Yeah, I got my
a
chocolate shotgun.
It's a legally not a threatening life
Give
weapon.
him a blast of chocolate goodness.
Yeah.
He was trying to steal probably the secret recipe or something.
And his big hippo henchman tied me up. But with the power of Cocoa Pops in my hand, I got
Escaped.
free. And now he's in
dead.
our band.
He's in our band.
We'd rather have a bowl of Cocoa Pops.
Perfect. I remember that one.
Yeah.
that's
Came
best
on just
advert ever.
after SMTV Live. I used to, I think we had it once, the Pikachu breakfast cereal / Pokemon breakfast cereal, which I think were essentially just Lucky Charms, which again we don't have over here.
Yeah.
With just like Pikachu marshmallows in it and like little sort of Cheerios
Yeah.
in there as well, and that was fucking good. But day to day, I don't eat breakfast, but fucking what are they called? Sugar Puffs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my mum used to
Sugar Puffs are
love...
good.
She still probably does love Sugar Puffs, but I could never get by them. They kind of freak me out.
Really?
It's weird texture.
If you eat a lot of them, and I mean a lot. No, if you just have a bowl and then you go for a piss,
Yeah.
your wee smells of Sugar Puffs.
Yes, yeah. I'm well acquainted
That's
with that smell.
true.
I have a vivid memory of the advert for Sugar Puffs as well.
Yeah,
They
the
had
scary suit man.
Well, the honey
Sugar
monster.
honey
but
monster, yeah.
there was also a bit where they did a close-up of one of the individual grains, and it had like a zip on it.
Yeah.
And it said, Sugar Puffs, little puffs of wheat in little honey jackets.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, little sexy honey boy.
Little honey jacket.
Yeah, delicious.
Weird.
Thank you for that question. Finally,
Good question.
this is from Binks at Binks Hobby. He
Misa.
says,
Binks, Jar Jar Binks.
"Which console do you think you could throw the furthest?"
Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. You think you could really get some?
I'm trying to think, because
It was the smallest.
It's got some weight, but it's also not heavy enough. Really, without batteries in. I don't think. It would
I
go
think a
that
Switch,
far.
actually.
You can get a Switch really far.
Because that's got a lot of length on it.
Frisbee.
I think I could frisbee quite well.
But again, the weight. Do you think that would drag it down before it could get any good rotation?
But you
in
need
there?
some good weight on it to carry it.
Oh,
If
like
it's too
the-
light, it might just blow away.
Like the hammer throw. If you tied a string around it, I bet I could get a PS2 pretty far.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Properly like swing it round, like lean against it and do a spin.
Yeah, it does depend on your technique. Well, let's go normal throw, one-handed throw.
I think it's just got to be the smallest, right? Like
I think
a
an
Game Boy Color.
Ouya would
An Ouya.
would go pretty
It's a bit
far.
not aerodynamic.
But it's
is
like
it?
it's palm based. But again, that's not. I don't
not a
think
console.
I don't think it's quite well. I don't think it's quite heavy enough to get the distance. I
looks
think it would just sort
cheap and
of
light.
get hit in the air and would just
The
sort of-
wind would carry it, right?
exactly, and it would fall down.
No, I-
Ouya's got weight. You can throw it with one hand like a tennis ball.
Yeah.
I think you can get it pretty far.
Do you know what I could get pretty far?
Go on.
A Bop at Extreme.
Why did you
get-
say that
Actually, yeah,
specifically?
It's got those hooks. That's the one with the extra arms. Like a bop it is just a straight line, isn't it? But
Right.
bop it extreme has like
Oh, it's like a
it's
steering
like
wheel.
half a swastika.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Sure, just take it to the...
Back to
Yeah,
Nazis.
I mean,
Stick
I'd love
back
to
to
kick.
Nazis again.
I'd love to throw a bop at extreme in Hitler's face. Is what I'm saying, and I could do
sweet.
it from a long distance away.
Right.
Anything else that was particularly stand out?
Oh yeah, kicking Hitler and shooting Nazis
listen to it
is a
again.
lot of fun.
Someone
really,
laughs
but,
awkwardly there.
Hey!
Who is it? Let's go.
Anything else that was particularly stand out?
Oh yeah, kicking Hitler and shooting Nazis is.
I think it might be Timur.
Yeah, it's not you.
It's not me.
Kicking Nazis should
just-
not be a contentious issue.
I'm not sure how BAFTA feel about that.
I think just bringing up Hitler by name.
It's not like
Yeah.
but you know, if I'd said like. If she'd said, "Oh, what did you think of Fable?" and I said, "Oh, I like the bit where you like beat up the woman," that's reasonable to say.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how
yeah.
BAFTA feel about that.
Yeah, that's
but
a
No, I think I get what you're saying. I don't think that she's upset
That I'm
potentially that
saying
you're saying that
down with
kicking
Nazism.
Nazis is bad.
Yeah.
I think it's more that the fact that you're bringing up specifically
Well, look-
Nazis and Hitler. Well, there we go. Those are our questions.
What an exciting day.
And
What
those
a weird.
Those are our things. But also a roller coaster.
I feel like the first one had a lot more kind of. I know there were very different things we brought to the table, but it felt more unified. But today we've talked about the BAFTAs,
Yeah.
lighting your ears on fire, and also serial killers.
Yeah.
Mention
It's
Nazis.
a weird thing.
It is. It has been a weird day. We hope you guys have enjoyed Podiots episode 2. Thank you so much for listening. Again, you can check us out on iTunes. Leave us a review.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely. We're also on Podbean. We're working on getting on Spotify. The full thing is available on YouTube as well.
Do you know what is on Spotify?
What's that?
A song by Neil Cicierega
Okay.
about
Jeff the Mongoose.
Mongoose.
Shit, you're
I
right.
am a freak.
Should we
Eighth
roll
Wonder.
a little bit of it now? Do you reckon that would be bad?
Could that be our little outro song?
We could do a little tiny bit,
Tiny bitter.
tiny beater.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's a tiny bit of that.
And I have hands, and I have feet. I'll never die. I am a freak. Hello, I'm here. I'm living in the wall. I know I might be small, but I am a freak.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, in the previous episode, we talked about Neil Cicierega, and then completely separately, I talked about Jeff the Mongoose. And
Yeah.
as soon as we were done recording,
Worlds collide.
we realised, oh my god, hang on.
Neil Cicierega has done a song about Jeff the Mongoose.
Yeah.
A song which I've been listening to for a couple of years now, and I never put two and two together there.
It's crazy.
That's sad.
It's a great song as well. It's very catchy.
Yeah, that's just done. I'm going to go and listen to the one he does about burning ear hair now. That's pretty
Yes.
good.
Yeah, that's true. And Jeffrey Dahmer as well.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Visit our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Twitter, our fucking Patreon, all.com/Vidiots official. Every single one.
at that,
Yes.
unity.
You'll find us.
Next episode of this is in 2 weeks.
It's in 2 weeks.
Two weeks.
That's 2 weeks. If you're wondering what else is coming out this week, we got to post some tat. We got a Skyrim zoo.
What?
We've got a worst games ever.
Whoa.
Next weekter,
Yeah.
Peter Austin is on holiday. So we are going to record that episode of Podiots on Friday. I know it's not going out next week, but it will be going out the week after, and there's bank holidays, and then I'm off on the Tuesday, so we're recording it way in advance. So if you see us asking for questions again on Friday, that's why. But yeah, thanks everyone for your support. You're all lovely. And thank you to Turtle Beach for sponsoring this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you. I love listening to Michael talking about, like,
It just sounds a lot better through a
Skin
Turtle
Nipple
Turtle
belt
Beach
has
headset,
never
doesn't it?
sounded better.
nipple belt.
I wasn't such a fan of like current day nipple belt, but I did like early nipple belt.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like, and they say that,
The
you know, remember
hero
the Spider,
can save
you remember the
us.
Spider-Man theme that
Yeah,
they did?
nipple belt.
Yeah, it's sort of fashionable to hate nipple belt, but
Then
got some good
he,
songs.
look at this graph.
he got with Avril Lavigne, didn't he? The guy from Nipple
Did
Belt.
he?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lead singer of Nipple Belt.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like the lead singer from Sum 41 going out with Avril Lavigne for a couple of years as well?
Well, that was the other Avril Lavigne. You know, the other one, the clone.
Oh, before they, because she
yeah.
she died pretty early on, and they had to change her.
Oh, she's still alive.
Oh,
She just lives underground,
right, okay,
in a bunker.
in a grave.
Don't tell Gein. Don't tell Gein. Bye, everyone. Bye.
He's doing a Dahmer.
It's Dahmer.